Wake up, the champs is in. Champion. We want back ends. Back in. Wipe my sins. Wipe it. They can't win. They can't win. No new friends.
Hello again, everybody. It is the coach. You're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half. But it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Randy Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And they had it easy last week. They jumped out to an early lead and then put it on cruise control from there.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here fresh off Week 1 victories. Who can keep it going as we're underway on EA Sports? That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Here's Wilson. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. Now, that screen there on second down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2.
Sack, baby! Sack, baby!
We've seen a couple of Super Bowls start 2-0. The first score of this game could have very easily been a safety. That was close there.
It was close, and while it didn't happen in this game, it's funny you bring up the Super Bowls, because that would have been, what, Super Bowl 46, Giants-Patriots.
You're testing my memory.
And also
yeah.
Super Bowl 48, which was Broncos-Seattle when the snap went over the head of the QB, and guess what? It was 2-zip Seattle right out of the gate.
Here's Matt Bosher now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. And taken right at the 35. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Lions will take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Hey, easy!
The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
Partner, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Here we go.
On second down, here's Barkley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Nice play, baby, nice play.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Let's go now, let's go.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on
32.
third down.
Tight end's right. We go set. Yellow 20.
A shotgun snap for Stafford. And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully get the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Wilson, and incomplete there. A nice hit, jars the ball free and brings up third down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side into a double team, and it's intercepted. T.J. Green with a pick, and they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
Partner, when you're playing cover 2, this is like a tag team for the safeties. Each of them gets a half-field responsibility. Their job, stay as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, read the football, and go make a play. In this case, the free safety made the best play, an interception.
A first down carry for Barkley. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Tight end right, tight end right. Set, lady.
To throw on second down is Stafford. Flushed out right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
40 gut, 40 gut. Get him, get him. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Here's Stafford now on second down. And it's incomplete.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Ready.
From the gun, here's Stafford. He's got his man on the crossing route. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Denzel Perryman there to bring him down. The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Go here!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And my goodness, they're now out of timeouts here in this first quarter.
Watch 86.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Set!
Out of the gun, Stafford. This is caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. They come out here in the eye. On the sneak, it's Stafford. The decision to go for it pays off, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
For those vertically challenged quarterbacks, here's a time where they will tell you it's an advantage to be a little bit on the smaller side. Able to duck in behind their offensive line and stick the ball across the imaginary yellow line for a 1st down.
Where's 52? Watch 52.
And he'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now.
Hey, 58 is down. 58.
He's going to get it running right. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal. From the gun, Stafford. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down. So now 4th down looming. Remember, these guys went for it on their last drive, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, even though it didn't work out, I would not be surprised at all if they went ahead and did it again.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Darn right.
Well, the offense, they got the ball in a great spot, but they went nowhere. Forced him to take just the 3.
And they'll be, happy taking the 3. But those guys on the other side, they've got to be ecstatic. They didn't let them get anywhere. It made them kick a field goal. That almost feels like they got the advantage, doesn't it?
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. They run a draw here on 2nd down, and they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to find a crease, you often have bigger guys working against smaller guys downfield. They picked up excellent yardage there to bring up a third down.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Let's go get it right here. Come on.
Not too many teams will use a first-round pick on a tight end, so you know that when one does, he's got to be pretty darn special.
A small example of why they took him in the first round there. Nice little catch and run to get the good yardage. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
On second down, here's Wilson. Left side, that's caught by Mitchell. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it. Now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. They run with Clement, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Now it's Wilson. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
On first down at Stafford. Flush to his right. Looking downfield for Godwin. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe.
We got 4 down. Let's go.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And they had a long drive last time, but they had to settle for a field goal, and I'm sure that's how it felt to them, settling. They probably should have gotten in the end zone.
Yeah, not out and out joy, right? Because that's what you get when you put the ball in the end zone. But there are benefits to that type of a long drive. Your defense gets a chance to take a break, adjust a little bit, maybe get themselves ready to get back out on the field and play a little bit better. So they'll take the benefit even though they wanted the 6 points.
And maybe wore down the other defense. We'll see. 2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in the second week of the regular season. Now Wilson. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs.
They ran that one well. And not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On second down, Wilson. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. That's from good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not willing to...
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow.
That's how we do it.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
The crossbar, bounces back out. He had it on line, but it comes up about a rotation short. All things considered, a pretty good kick. Just cruel punishment there to be denied by the crossbar.
If you're going to hit from that distance, sometimes you're going to need a little luck. And unfortunately for him, this time the break goes against him.
Good starting field position for him as they come up first and 10.
Trip. You got trips. You got 3. Hey, go here. 22.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Going deep. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They give him a gain of 38. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down.
Set. Red 80. Double right. 22. Shit. Ready. On 3. Motion.
From the red zone now, Stafford. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. In for the score. And the Lions are in for 6. So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just add the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Elliott now to kick this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10.
Watch the twist, watch the twist. Shot! 380!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. Now whistles in a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Shot! 280!
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it's knocked away and incomplete. So we've reached halftime here in Detroit with the Lions out on top. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, we'll get you back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, it's time for a trip around the NFL following an eventful opening weekend. Let's see what's happening in Week 2. We'll start across the Atlantic in London, England. And the Panthers are out in front as they play the second quarter. Trent Taylor, a touchdown reception. From there, we'll make the trip down to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting LA Chargers. The Colts trying to gut this one out as it would be a good victory for them if they could get it. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half?
Well, that came a little abruptly here. Still working on my apple up in the booth. Hang on here. Let me spit this out. And we can get to the third quarter now. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. They are in the second quarter down in Miami. The Dolphins continuing to add on. They are really rolling. And we'll be sure to keep an eye on that one as we go along here. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now a first down throw. Stafford. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. He was looking for John Ross that time. That'll bring up second down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. Monday. After the delay of game, they're operating behind the sticks, 2nd and 15.
11. Zebra.
Operating from the gun. Stafford drops it to Jones in the flat. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there. The drive will continue. It's a first down. This looks like a free play for Stafford. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
Offside. Defense.
So offside's the call, and they understandably declined it.
And this is why we're seeing more and more teams hiring that one coach to the staff that's in charge of all these things. This one's minor. It's pretty easy to figure out. But all the game management stuff, trying to help out the head coach in his decision-making process.
180. Zebra. Go here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. Over the middle, he finds Godwin complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. 17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling.
Go here. Hey, go here. You. Hey, give me radar. Motion. Go here. Hey.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Now let's see who this is on.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take
Still
a whole
first
lot,
down.
does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5.
Jumbo, set.
Stafford looks to throw again. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. As his guys are in for 6. And the Lions are able to grow their lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week. Another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Detroit will be kicking off. Number 80, back to return.
Elliott now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. So let's glance at a player spotlight now with Russell Wilson. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting...
Four down. Side, Booker team. Back.
This is Clement. take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Watch tight. Tight ends right. Tight. Go in.
Put her on it here. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field.
Let's go get another one.
We'll check on his status when we get back. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Tight. 380.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And under the Lions' pressure, he's brought down.
Here comes the blitz. Come on,
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness that defensive line is eating them alive.
Carry, here's Clement, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
3rd and long, it's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call just straight ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10.
Hurry!
They'll try and get this run game going. This is Barkley. And some room to work. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Here's a give to Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. Play action. Stafford. Forced out to his left. Got a man. It's Ross. Complete. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Saquon Barkley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Lions add on to their lead. So now Stafford will bring up the Lions, and they'll go for 2. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him.